Hello, how are you? Welcome. This is the welcome transfer, part of it anyways. And we're going to use this tonight for this cardinal stained glass project, okay? So this is the top layer, there's a bottom layer as well. So let's get moving and get this thing all put together, shall we? I think you're going to love this one. So let's see, we're going to do this entire top layer in black. Okay, so I have my little makeup sponge here. Hi Sandra, how are you, love? You can comment the word bird to get the supplies to make this. And I'm just going to go around and get this whole thing painted for the outline. And then we're gonna start working on the actual detail. Figured I'd do this part first since it would probably be a little easier since it's all black. And then we're gonna get to the real fun of doing the background. So this is meant to look like stained glass. It doesn't have a bunch of little pieces with it, okay? It is literally just like 4 pieces. So really excited about that. You know, I was tempted. There is a version of this that has a bunch of little pieces, but it's a lot, y'all. So I figured, why not make it easy for not only for me, but for you too. And I think it's literally just as good. Hi Stephanie, hi Joni, welcome ladies. How are you? All right, so hi Mom, how you doing? All right, and I think I hope everyone loves cardinals as much as I do. You know the meaning behind them, that when cardinals are near, someone you love is there, right? So I just love that. Plus the whole stained glass effect that this has is just gorgeous. So I think it's gonna be a winner tonight. Make a little stained glass welcome sign. And I hope y'all love it as much as I do. Hi Evelyn, how are you? Thanks for joining me. So welcome. You can comment the word bird to get the supplies to make this one. And I'm just using my favorite black chalk paint besides chalk paste, but I figured I'd be using a bunch of it tonight, so just stick with what's easiest and not use up all my black chalk paste, okay? So I do have some regular old paint colors besides chalk that I do like to use. This is just an acrylic paint, but it's got a matte finish and it's chalk paint, so it is a little bit thicker, I think, than regular acrylic paint, which I really love. So check out Home Decor, the folk art, or even like Waverly is really good. I think you can get Waverly at Walmart. But this one I bought on Amazon. And whenever you comment that keyword, my Amazon list is on there. So you go check out all of the craft supplies I have stored in there. All the different stuff I use, pretty much I get a lot of it at Amazon. If it's not Hobby Lobby, I get it at Amazon. So you can check that out and grab all the goodies. All right. I should have probably added some water onto my makeup sponge, which I probably could still do, I think. Let's do that. So I'm just gonna take this and I'm gonna just spray a little bit of water right on there. And I'll just mix it in right on my plate. I haven't cleaned any of my tools lately. I know that's horrible, y'all. I'm the worst, okay? So I don't have any clean color trays in here. So yeah, I'm using a plate tonight. That's what we've got to work with, so that's fine. At least I have paper plates in there. And oh my gosh, y'all, so I had a very stressful day. I had a great day work-wise, but about 4 o'clock this evening, I was on a call. Well, I was calling into a call, okay? And one of the guys sounded like really, like he was breaking up real bad. And I'm like, what is that about? And so, and then he's like, can you see my screen? He's asking the group, right? Because he's presenting. And I'm like, no, it's just a black screen. And so I'm thinking, well, you know, I did have to restart my modem the other day. Hi, Tristan. How are you? Welcome. I'm so happy to see you. I did have to restart my modem like last week or so, just because the internet was acting funny. And so I'm like, maybe that's the problem, right? So I go and I do that. I go to reconnect them to the internet, and y'all, it won't reconnect. And I'm freaking out, okay? I'm like, oh no, I need to be on this call for work, and I can't get connected, right? And so I'm gonna use, I think, well, we're gonna use this one for this part. So this is the little sign part that goes with this. And then I've got just a regular board that we're gonna use for this one. It's not gonna move around a lot. I just want something to set that on, okay? So my internet wouldn't reconnect, and I'm freaking out because I can't get back into the meeting without internet, right? And so I'm like, okay, let me call in. I have a second phone that I got for work because I need to be able to call into meetings and stuff. And my personal phone doesn't work for that. And so, anywho, hi Lori, how are ya? Hey Tammy. So I used my other phone. Thank God I have a second phone, y'all, because it worked. And as spotty as the service was, even that one didn't have great service on it. But I'm like, okay, you know, it's AT&T. It's a lot better service than my cell phone is usually, which is great. So anyways, I was able to call back in, thank God. But the whole time, I'm on this call for an hour. The entire time, y'all, I'm trying to get back in on my computer, and I cannot get the Wi-Fi to connect. It keeps on saying connected with no internet. And I'm like, what the heck is going on, right? And so I'm like, okay, let me try my hotspot on my phone, right? On my regular phone. So I try to do that. I've got no phone signal, okay? No service whatsoever. And normally I have great service here at my house on my cell phone. It's usually really good. So I'm like, well, that's weird too now, okay? So it's just a comedy of errors. And then I'm trying every which way, right? And I cannot seem to get that to work. And my phone won't work. I can't connect to the Wi-Fi. And so finally I'm like, okay, let me try my work phone using the hotspot, which was shady at best. It did not want to hold the network because I guess everyone over here on this side of town was having issues with their internet and their cell phone service this afternoon. So that whole time I'm trying to connect, trying to do it, it did connect momentarily, and then it would like act stupid and not want to work, right? Y'all, super annoying. Okay, so here's the backer for this cardinal. Isn't that pretty? It's going to be so gorgeous, y'all. I can't wait for this. Now, what I want to do is, sorry, I had to like clean myself up here. I'm not going to use these little makeup sponges for painting all this, okay? Because they're just not gonna work, I don't think. So we're gonna use our chalk brushes, and I'm gonna be real careful to leave out the parts that I know I need to leave out. Okay, so like the beak is gonna be left out. So I'm gonna do the rest of the bird red. And I believe that his legs are, yeah, so his legs are already black, so that's a good thing right there. So I'm gonna just paint up to like there with red, and then we can go back with the black. Or, I mean, honestly, we could still do that one red. It wouldn't hurt it, right? And then around the top up here is covered with the black, so I'm gonna go ahead and paint that red as well. Anyway, so I had a bunch of problems earlier trying to reconnect, And then they would ask me questions, and I'm like, I guess I was breaking up real bad. Everyone was laughing at me because I was like, I don't know, probably robotic voice. I have no idea. And then, y'all, every time we're on these meetings, something really funny happens. It's a bunch of people, okay? A ton of people on this call. And someone is like not on mute. And it's always that one person that doesn't mute. He's like saying like, okay, babe, like that in the background of somebody. And it's just so happened to be while my boss was talking. So then the entire meeting long, everyone's like calling my boss babe, which I just think is the funniest thing ever. And he's a great sport, so he was laughing about it, but I thought it was so funny. I love the people I work with, y'all. I love working with people that have a good sense of humor and that can laugh about technology and just the fact that we all work in different places because we're all in different states and different offices, some working from home, some traveling. I mean, I work a lot of the time like in airports and other places that are just off the wall. But yeah, I don't know what happened. And then about, I don't know, 6 o'clock, 6:30 or so, then the internet wants to come back on and act like everything is brand new and we're good. Like they didn't just leave us just to hang with nothing. And that's what's scary, okay, about everything being internet based. So this sign part, I'm going to go ahead and do it red, even though the sign itself is going to be white, because it is going to be covered, so it doesn't matter. I know, look at this shirt. Isn't it super cute? It reminds me of the 80s. I got it for my friend's boutique. It's another one of those shirts that I bought from her. It is so cute, and it's kind of baggy. I sent a picture to my mom, and she was like, that shirt's too big. But I think it's meant to be this way. And I'd rather have a shirt looks good, I think, on me. It is a little bit baggy, but it's supposed to be, because even the model in the picture, who was a much smaller person than me, it was big on her, okay? And I think it's super cute. So loving all these clothes that I've been getting from my friend. In fact, I think I'm going to cancel my Stitch Fix. Just because they keep on sending me like the same clothes pretty much, but different colors. Or like jeans. I don't need any more jeans. Or shorts even. I've got tons and tons of shorts and jeans. I don't need them. So anywho, sorry, trying to keep up with the comments while I'm just jabbering on here too. Now, down here on these flowers, I want to paint them white, okay? So we're going to be real careful. You know how I roll with being careful around stuff. I say that and then I'm not. Now, I'm pretty sure, and the great thing about this is that you can just refer back to the overlay part and see what's what, okay? But I know there's at least 2 flowers down here. I'm pretty sure this is a leaf. And I think these are going to be berries. Yeah, there's some berries over here, and then a leaf and 2 flowers. So I want to do those flowers white. And I'm going to kind of not go too far on the berries, I hope. Oop. I'm really hoping that I didn't just go too far after I said that. I'm going to just cut it off right there. And perfect. Okay, so now we can come over here. And I'm going to go ahead and take the red up his legs because they're going to be covered anyways. And I just want to paint the background, okay? Now this isn't, the legs are not going to show, they're not going to show up red or anything like that, so don't worry about it, okay? And I'm basically just painting the stuff that I know is going to poke through, okay? All right. let's work on green, and we'll come back and finish up with white. And I have a yellow pen here, just like a chalk marker for the beak, because it's a small space. It would be perfect for a chalk marker. And also I did go ahead and include all of the chalk markers that I've gotten on my Amazon link. The ones that I'm going to use tonight, this one right here, is from a really cheap set that I got, y'all, but they're great, okay? I like them a lot, and they're actually meant for, like, you know those boards at restaurants that they write on? Pretty sure that's what they're meant for, but they work so good to paint with. I don't know if this part, if that leaf is going to be poking out, but we're going to paint it anyways. But yeah, these markers are surprisingly really good, and I got them on sale. They were already way less expensive than the Posca markers were. So if you're interested in getting some decent ones that aren't going to cost you a boatload of money, because I'm telling you, the Posca ones are pretty darn expensive. Now, they're great. They're really good quality. But these other ones are decent. So, you know, I'll share things I find with y'all. All right. Yeah, I love this shirt. It reminds me of, like, I don't know if you will get this reference, Saved by the Bell. It was a show that I used to watch, like, after school with Zach Morris and the gang, you know? But yeah, that's what it reminds me of, because it's like the bright 80s colors, or 90s, I guess, colors. All right, I'm gonna flip this around. I think I'm gonna need to paint this one more layer of red just to get it nice and dark. I've already used this yellow pen once, so I'm gonna just get after it. Now, I don't wanna go too far on the beak. Well, I guess I could, and then we can paint it red if I go too far. But I think it's going to be about like that. It's just like a little triangle, okay? Now, you can always touch this up after the fact before you actually glue all of the top to it. Okay, and I know it's very roughly done right now, but we're going to get it all fixed up here, and then it's going to come together and everyone is going to be shocked, including me, okay? Now I'm going to just paint my flowers down here white. I should have used a little bit bigger brush, but that's okay. Now again, thin layers of paint, and if you need to do more than one, that's fine, but try to keep them thin so that they dry, and they dry evenly, and they look really, really nice whenever they're dried, okay? Because this paint can kind of get thick on the wood and just be cakey looking, okay? So you don't want that. Now, this thing's gonna be really neat. Again, you can comment the word bird, and you'll get the link to this, and we are gonna use a Chalk Couture transfer tonight. So you can get the link to that. You can decide what you want. If you want to grab this. And don't forget, tomorrow night we have the first day of my inventory sale. I know it's been so long. It's been too long, really, since we've done a sale around here. So let me just make sure that that's right. Okay, yeah. That's a leaf of the flower. I mean, a petal, I guess. It's not a leaf. Just gently around there. And then the great thing about this is that there's going to be a black, like, border that's going to cover up all the in-between. So it doesn't have to be perfect, okay? There we go. Alrighty then. Alright, now I'm gonna just set my paintbrush to the side because I might reuse it one more time. I definitely want to go over my red again. So I'm gonna just do that real quick. And, oh, I guess I don't even need to worry about that part, huh? Just the parts that are gonna be showing, I need to go over again. So the bird mainly, okay? And I know you're probably thinking, Pam, that's way too much red. You should have done a better job, but I think we're good. And you'll see in just a second that the stained glass effect is going to be really awesome with this guy. And then I do want to go back over my white sign really quick. Okay, so here's that so far. Okay, now I know we're not done. We're gonna switch it out. And I think we're gonna layer this one more time. And I'm probably gonna use a brush for this final layer. Make sure it's good and dry. And I do have like a little bit of, or my paint's a little bit lumpy on there, so I'm gonna just one swipe with the sanding block, and that just smooths it right out. Hi, Jen. Yeah, it's 12 inches. I actually almost cut it bigger, but I wanted it to fit the welcome that we're gonna use on this little sign part. So it is gonna hang off just a little bit, but I think it'll be fine. It's gonna look great, okay? But this is such a fun project to paint, and then doing the welcome on here is gonna be just perfect, okay? All right. Ooh, yes, I love that. Yeah, I would love to see it hanging in your house, Jen. All right. Here we go. Now, we'll let that dry, and we may hit it one more time with the sanding block. That smoothed it out really nicely, this one. So let's switch this around one more time. I just want to make sure that my black is fully covered because it looks like it might be a little bit splotchy here. So let me just try and, yeah, it definitely could use like one more coat of black. So let me, again, we're taking the little makeup sponge. I'm just spraying a little bit more water on it. And then I'm just using the lid of my paint and then tapping it off into my plate so that it's not super thick as we go on here. And that'll be a really nice finish once we're done. And the great thing about these is, just like I always say, you can reuse them. You can cut off the end that you just let the paint dry, okay? I usually just lay it on my desk and let it dry overnight. And then I just take a pair of scissors and I just cut off the end. And then I can reuse these 2 or 3 times. Probably about 3 times is the max. Sometimes I'll get it down to the 4th time and I'll regret it because I'll end up with paint all over my fingers by the time I'm done using it. So About 3 times is my limit on uses of these, but that makes it so worth it. And not having to clean brushes is amazing, especially for stuff like this that has a bunch of little edges all over the place. And then that way you don't have a bunch of messy paint, because like whenever I use a brush, I end up making a mess around the edges, okay? And you don't have that problem with these because it just dabs the paint on there, okay? And then you can even just spread that out. All right. So I was thinking that obviously I want to do a cutout sale this coming month. Hi Denise, how are ya? I'm glad you like this one. I think you're gonna love this project once it's finished. So I was thinking about doing a cutout sale at the end of the month, or at the end of the month, excuse me, next month. And I'm thinking that I would like to do a little bit of Christmas in July. And then, is it too early for fall? I don't think it is. I'm ready. It's too hot here. I know I'm complaining entirely too much for I just got back to town and I'm already over the weather, but I would like to do some fall. So tell me what you think about that. Fall cutouts. And then of course, you know, we have the launch coming up and all of that will be open to customers on the 11th of July. And so I'm thinking, I mean, some of that's Christmas, some of it's autumn stuff. I mean, there's everyday things in there too. But I think we're going to see some Christmas projects coming up. And Christmas in July cutouts. So I hope y'all are interested in that because... Okay, perfect, Lisa. I'm so happy to hear that. I love fall. And fall decor is my favorite. Even more than Christmas. Isn't that funny? I used to really love Christmas a lot, but ever since I started doing chalk, I've really gotten into the fall stuff, the scarecrows and other fun stuff like that. Sorry, trying to talk and paint at the same time does not work great. Okay, so now, oh man, I shouldn't have gotten rid of my paintbrushes yet. Let's dry this real fast. Yeah, I hate hot weather too. And you know, moving back home has reminded me of that. The humidity is killer here. It's so bad. I mean, even like, I went to the beach last weekend and it was so hot there, y'all. It was like stiflingly hot. And then I get back home and I didn't even break a sweat unloading my car, which normally over there, I was like drenched in sweat unloading my car and then loading it back up. We had to do it like in waves where like, okay, we're going to load a little bit right now and then we're going to wait. And we're going to load a little bit more and then we're going to wait because it's too dang hot. All right, and then of course I've got this one friend who is so stinking cute, y'all. She wears the cutest outfits. She is just a little hottie, okay? And she's like wearing these adorable, chunky heels. Oh my gosh, they're so cute. And she walks in and I'm like, oh my gosh, you're adorable, okay? And she's running up and down the stairs at that beach house in those shoes, lugging stuff up the stairs, y'all. I have never, ever in my life been more proud of any human on this planet, okay? I'm just like in awe of this woman. Okay, so I'm going to dry this white just a little bit more because it needs it. All right. Just make sure that you dry it really well. We're going to set this on top and just make sure everything lines up, okay? And then if we have any issues, then we'll come back and fix it real quick. And it shouldn't be much. Oh my gosh. It's basically perfect, okay? there's a few little places that need to be mended. Like over here on the beak, we need to fix that, which we can do that quickly. Let's do that first. Let's see. I think, yeah, we need to come back just a little bit more on the beak. And what you could do actually, and I didn't even think about this, but of course, I don't know what I did with my mechanical pencil. You know, I think Chris may have taken off with it. But what you could do is you could get a little pencil and mark. Hold on, let me see. Oh gosh. I have a pen, but I don't want to use a pen. You could get a little pencil and mark the areas where the paint is, right? So like where you're supposed to paint it so that you can see the line. Now, this is a little paintbrush. The end of a paintbrush that is kind of long. This one is literally just right here, I'm pretty sure. So we're gonna do that. And then I think I made a bit of a mark on here. So this one is just a little bit too far over, which is totally fine. We can get that. No problem. It's going to be perfect, I'm telling you. We may go over that one more time. Just because it's a little bit, the red is kind of dark, but that's okay. I don't know that you'll even be able to see it once we get this all put together. But you know, I end up nitpicking my own self. Okay, and then just a tiny bit here. So let me actually get a smaller brush. See if we have a little brush here. And that, I mean, it's literally just an edge there. So we're just gonna do just a tiny little edge of green. And like, you won't even be able to see it probably, but I will know, okay? And then I want to fix up my little berries right here, which is fine. We can totally do that, no big deal. Okay. Now this one might be a little more tricky because I went way far on the white. And then not far enough on the red, but I was able to mark it that time, so that's good. And I'm gonna try with a paintbrush, but I may use, I have my paint pen that I pulled out over here. For the white. Okay, there's that, and then we will grab another smaller brush. Let's see, maybe this one will work. These are a little bit long, but they might work. And just touch up our little berry real quick. Nothing much to it, really. You don't have to be a painting guru or anything else. I certainly am not, okay, to be able to do this. It's gonna look fabulous, I promise you it will, okay? But you might try to get a little pencil and mark some of these. Now I'm gonna come back over here and just darken the paint on my leaf just a little on that edge. Okay. All right. Oh, and you know what? I might as well do a second layer here too. While I'm here, might as well. And then, hi Shirley, how are you? All right. Y'all, this, I need a little more red right here. I'm just a little afraid to go too far. But as you can tell, you can fix it up however you need to and just go a little bit at a time until it's just perfect, okay? And then you have the lines on this that will help you not only be a guide, but they will hide any little flaws that you might have, okay? Oh, thank you, Jen. I love you. You're too sweet to me. Some of my stuff, I look at it and I'm like, oh, that needs to go directly to the trash. Hi, Amy. How are you? Welcome. Well, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm like nitpicking this at this point, but I just want it to be just as good as it can be, you know? Especially when this project will mean so much to me once it's done, and I will really want it hung somewhere in my house. And I think that it would actually be perfect on one of maybe our windows in the living room. Okay. Y'all, I'm sorry. I'm just working this red over here just a little bit at a time to make sure it's not too much, because I don't want to go over. But that's good. Okay, so now I think it'll be good. Thank you, Shirley. It's gonna be really nice once it's all put together here. And we're nearly there. All we're gonna have to do now is grab the outside sign part, wherever that is. It's right here. And we painted white. Chalk it real quick, literally nothing to it. Oh my gosh. Okay, so obviously this is not glued yet, but look how fantastic that looks. And I'm serious, I am no painter, okay? Now I did just see as I was lifting that up that there's a little more to love here on this berry. Because you can just see the edge of the white in there. So just a little at a time. We'll make it just right, okay? Isn't it so pretty? It's gonna be great. So we're gonna do welcome across the front of it with this gorgeous font. It's gonna be absolute perfection, okay? So you can comment the word bird to get the supplies for this project. Fill out the form and make sure that you submit it, okay? And I will send you over an invoice for your selections. All right. So there's that. Oops. Sliding it around just a little bit. And then we're gonna come over here, let that just simmer for a minute. And I did really like this. So I just took this little 200 grit sandpaper and just lightly sanded that a minute ago, and it just made it so smooth. I'm doing great, Alma. Thank you so much for joining me. And I'm just gonna wipe it because that did leave a little bit of like a dust, I guess, on my surface. Oh, there goes Dozer. He's going off. Get that cleaned up, and then I'm going to wax this surface just a little bit. I just don't want to pull up this white paint, okay? So you want to make sure that you wax just a tiny bit in addition to fuzzing your transfer, okay? Now this welcome transfer has several welcomes on it. I think it has 2 that would work perfect for this project, different welcomes, okay? But there's a bunch of different welcomes on the entire transfer. Plus, there's some other things that say like, welcome to my home, welcome to our home, welcome home. You could do all kinds of mixtures of stuff on different things, okay? So this transfer is not just one and done, which I love that, okay? They're all different sizes. You can use them for many things, not just a single thing, okay? And I'm just going to fuzz it twice. I don't think it's going to be a big deal. Okay, so now I want to center this. And I also would like to try and get as much of the letters as I can in there, okay? So because the L goes up so high and the M dips down so low, it's a tight squeeze, okay? But I just turned it just a tiny bit. And of course, we're gonna use Shimmer Shadow, okay? That is the black with the glitter. And the W has like the tails that come off the edges. So I'm just gonna let those go off the edges and go all the way to the edge with it. And then the L's just slightly cut off, but that's okay. We do have a little frame for this. So I think this is gonna be great. And then the M goes just right to that edge too. But our frame's gonna cover that part up, so it will look like it was meant to be like that, I think. And then I'm gonna just start pulling this up and make sure that it's perfect as we go. That C has seen better days, so just set that back down and go over it again. And then scrape that extra paste off in there and save it. No waste around here. Okay, we're trying to save as much paste as possible for the next project. I'm gonna baby wipe and clean myself up a little bit. Oh no. Now, there's our welcome, okay? So, let me put some of this away so that it's not all in our faces. Now we can start assembling this little guy. So, all I want to do is just glue on all of this, okay? So, I'm going to use this, what is it called? Eileen's Tacky Glue. I love this stuff. It dries clear. It's super easy to apply, and it's not going to dry before I get it laid down, okay? Plus, it gives me just a little bit of play so that I can make sure that I get a perfect fit. Now, the only issue with this glue is that it does have a little bit of play, okay, before it actually really takes hold. So just be careful that you don't move it like before you've got it glued, like the glue sets, okay? But it doesn't take but a couple seconds for the glue to really set. But that gives you enough time to get it perfectly lined up, especially something like this that really needs to be lined up just perfectly. Okay. So just all around I'm gonna glue on every piece of this. Since I'm not using hot glue or super glue where it's gonna come out the edges, I want every piece of this thing to be really solidly glued down. And then it'll make a really nice border too, okay? Great. And then before I get that middle part where my thumb is, I'm gonna go ahead and get down here, all the way around the flowers and the leaves and everything. And then that way we can just do the center and be good to go, okay? Man, my hand is getting tired from that. Talk about getting carpal tunnel. Okay, now we're gonna go quite a bit on here, okay? I want this to have a really, really good hold. So there's that, all right? Now, let's see if we can flip this bad boy over. And line it up from the bottom to the top. And I did a pretty good job lining that up the first time. Look at that. Okay, so now, here's this first part, okay? I want to be careful with it because I don't want it to scoot around at all. Now, I have this part. I want to make sure this is dry. I don't know that it is quite yet. I used just regular acrylic paint for all of the paint. And then I used Shimmer Shadow for the paste on this with the Welcome Welcome transfer. On the black, on this border part, on the top layer, I used a little makeup sponge, and then I used a paintbrush for all the other pieces, okay? All right, so now we're gonna, again, just go heavy with it, okay? Now, I'm gonna try not to get too close to the edge because I don't want any of this to squirt out of here, but I want it to be a good seal. I mean, a good seal. So then, I'm gonna just drop that right on there and push on the edges to line it up. Push it down really well, and voila. Now, the paint that I used, the red was this little jar. Now, these are like, I don't know, some off-brand. I don't even know what they are. But they are on my Amazon link. I got them not too long ago, and the paint's really good. The green and the red is what I used from that kit. But that whole little paint kit was pretty darn good, and it came with a little paint tray that I still haven't cleaned from the last time I used it, and a full set of brushes, which are really good brushes too. So whenever you comment the word bird, you'll see the link there for my Amazon list. You can go on there and look at my craft supply stuff and check out this paint set with the brushes, because that paint is good. And it was cheap for like, I don't know, it was like 30 something jars of paint. But it's not real thin. Like some paints are a little too thin and watery, and I can't get with it, okay? Thanks, Reach. Thanks for watching. Welcome to the party. All right, so I believe that we're about done here already, okay? Now, my paint's drying. I do still want to be a little bit gentle with this. Make sure that this thing is lined up and pushed down really well, okay? But I think we have a winner here. So you can comment the word bird, and get all the stuff to make this. Now, of course, you can see the little glue dots on the edges. That will all dry clear, so you won't be able to see any of that. But I think we did a pretty darn good job. This is only 4 pieces. It makes life so simple, and you do not have to be a professional painter to paint this sucker, okay? I mean, you saw me clean it up a little bit, and look how darn good it looks. So grab this yourself. You can comment the word bird and get it for you, and I would love to see a picture of it in your home, okay? I love you all so much. Make sure that you come hang out with me tomorrow. Retired Transfer live sale. We are going to start with paste and ink and A-size transfers tomorrow, and then we'll go through Sunday and get through everything, okay? I love you all. Have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow.